What's up, everyone? It's your lady, Amy the Seventh, here for episode 11, right? We're in the energy of 1 1. And I was really looking up what is the meaning of 11. And what I found online, I'm going to read it, is that the number 11 also symbolizes a spiritual awakening. The name of this number is sometimes the illuminator or the teacher. It is here to encourage positive thinking in the powers of manifestation and to recognize and use your unique skills to give something back to the world. And it makes me really think about, because earlier today I went and got some spicy chicken teriyaki, and it must have been by design because while over there I was listening to some of my favorite teachers when it comes to keeping myself in the mind frame of growing, excelling, and staying positive when things aren't shaking as fast as I think it should shake. And I went into the restaurant for my food, and there was a quote on this wall, and it says, "Success isn't something that just happens. Success is learned. Success is practice, and then it is shared," right? Because we all come to this world not to be average, not to be mediocre, but we come to this world to prove, right? To prove that the gifts that were given to us, that were designed in us, right, was meant to shake up the world, to make us fabulous, right? To show how fabulous we are. And oftentimes I'm guilty of it. This is why I can speak on it so freely. We want it to happen overnight, right? And when things don't shake as fast as they do, we give up. And I was reading Think and Grow Rich, right? Because again, as I said, I'm in the mind frame of wanting to grow and expand and to commit to a purpose that is bigger than I. And what really stood out to me, and this is page 21 of the book, because I'm just getting started. But what really stood out to me is the author said, what a different story it would be if men would adopt a definite purpose and stand by that purpose until it had time to become an all-consuming obsession. And it makes me think about my teacher when she said often enough that so many people spend time majoring in minor things, and we don't spend enough time majoring in things that actually uh, pours into our life and gets us to the level or the place or the condition that we desire to be in. And, it all starts with an ideal. It all starts with a thought. And, to jump to the very first chapter of Think and Grow Rich, it talks about the thoughts are things, and powerful things at that. And when they're mixed with definiteness of purpose, persistence, and a burning desire for their translation into riches or other material objects, right? And so it makes me think about how when Usain Bolt said that he spent 4 years to train for 9 seconds, right? He still holds one of the biggest titles, if not the title, of the fastest runner in the world for a man. And he said it trips him out that when people quit just 2 months into it because they're not getting the results. And it speaks volumes to me because I've quit so many times working out. Even this podcast, because this podcast is a second go around for me because right, traction wasn't fast, right? And we're in a society where we want things fast, we want it now. And when it doesn't happen at that time, right, we push it to the side, right? Like a toy. Once the thrill of the toy is over at Christmas, right? It's tossed away, it's trashed, it's no longer meaningful or useful to us, even though our parents spent their time, their lives away from us working for that object that we discard because it's no longer meaningful. The thrill is gone. And it's it's interesting to me because when you work for things, those things tend to carry more value. And I went to Memphis to get my teeth cleaned and to get my braces changed. I'm in a red gang. and and my dentist, she was the dental assistant. She talked about how my teeth were really clean and she really didn't have much work. And she said, unlike the children that come in, they typically don't keep their teeth as clean as adults do when it comes to braces. And, it makes me think about how what I just mentioned, you take care of things better when your money is on the line. And so where I'm going with it is, where are you putting your heart and your money when it comes to things that you desire? Today, well, really this weekend, I've been taking a really hard look at myself about the direction that I'm going in my life. I'm 32, and am I spending the time where I need it to be for me to become the lady I want to be tomorrow? And in a lot of ways, yes, because there are so many wonderful things that I've asked God for, I had worked for, and it's happened. But when I really look at everything that I've been doing in this for right now, no, right? So there is a dichotomy there. There is a disconnect there because, I see myself praying and asking for things, and then I'll work at it a little bit, and then I don't work at it. And so then I notice with myself that I need to create an undying obsession in the things that I want to become the person I want to be. I was listening to Myron Golden today, and he talked about how in the Bible it says to be fruitful and to multiply. But when he breaks it down, it was be right, become someone, be that person, be that one, and then do right, do multiply, right, do subdue, and then um have, right? Because when you be something and you do something, then you will have something, right? So be, do, and have. And it really sticks out to me because how many of us out here are being what we want every day and all day? That means you wake up and the thought comes to mind of, this is who I am going to be today and tomorrow and forever. And then you go and do, right? Because the actions of your hands will follow the thoughts of your mind, because we know all great things and all bad things starts in the mind. So, you have to think about it. Are you being, are you doing, and is being and doing equaling the have that you want, or is it the have not, right? Because so many of us struggle and we remain in the same condition that we were in yesterday, last year, or 10 decades ago. And there's so many times that I come home, I see family, I see friends, and I ask them, yo, what's good? What's up? Shit. Same old shit. Yesterday. Shit. That's what I'm on. And I love them, don't get me wrong, but I have to protect myself away from people who have the same old shit, just a different day. Like it's Groundhog Day for them, right? They wake up every day and they do the same things and they talk to the same people, and, they don't go further than where they desire. I know when I was in Birmingham, and I met a guy down there, and I asked him, well, has he ever been up north, right? Because a lot of people tend to have a preconceived notion of things that they've never been, things they've never seen, and he's never been further than Nashville, right? But he had all these thoughts of Detroit and Michigan and how it's not a great place. And it's like, you really cannot allow people to determine your thoughts and perceptions of places that you never been. And really, that's how racism gets started, right? Or that's how fear gets started, right? Someone tells you, ooh, be scared of a bumblebee. And then you're swatting at something that's actually more scared than you are, right? We really have to take our time to think about, what are people pouring into us, right? Are the things that they pouring into us, is it breeding something that's going to hold me back from experiencing something new? And the answer is yes. Because oftentimes than not, people that are in our life that truly loves us, they would give us these preconceived notions because, one, they don't know no better, and two, they want to protect us. I remember my mom, I wanted to try guacamole so bad when I was a kid, and she would never let me try guacamole, avocados. It was no. And how she would get me when I was little to stop asking for things was to say it was just nasty. And when she said it was nasty, that was it, right? I wouldn't try, I wouldn't ask her for it again. And I laugh about her with it today because she loves guacamole and she loves avocado now, right? But it took her to for someone, my dad, to get her to try something new. And I laughed with her because I was like, see, I wanted to try this when I was a kid and you were against it. And she was like, girl, I didn't know. I didn't want to try it. I thought it was nasty because it was green, right? So how many times in our life have we, denied ourselves an experience because we thought it was nasty, because it didn't look the way that we thought it should look, right? It's so many times that we tried that we haven't tried ourselves, that we denied ourselves of things because, one, someone told us it was nasty, or two, we looked at it and thought it was nasty, right? And it really could have been the best thing ever. Do you know how much I love guacamole? Okay, I could become a guacamole, right? If I could transform into one. That's how much I love it. But it just goes to show you just how easy it is to um manipulate people, right? And it really makes me think about, I'm just really talking about myself for this weekend. I literally watched like the Lamborghini movie. And if you have not watched the Lamborghini movie, I implore every last one of y'all to hop on Tubi. It's free. Hop on Tubi, deal with a few commercials for a lessons of a lifetime, right? And it makes me think about, when I think about the name Lamborghini, right? It's a name. It's a beautiful name. And it makes me think about my name, Amy the Seventh, right? Who is Amy the Seventh? And what am I doing to make Amy the Seventh the household name that I know she can be? And watching the Lamborghini movie, and I watched it several times because, one, I watched it because I love fast cars, right? And I was always curious, how did Lamborghini become Lamborghini? And one, I love the name, right? And so it makes you think about what goes into the making of name. And Lamborghini the movie, fun fact, Ferruccio Lamborghini, that's the guy that founded the company, he started off making tractors, right? So before he even got the idea of, I'm going to make the world's most beautiful car, he made tractors, right? There were big wonky tractors. He fought, and he started off making tractors when he came home from the war. And he was a mechanic in the war, and his father owned a farm, and he was like, yeah, Dad, I'm gonna make tractors. And his dad was real skeptical, like, Ferruccio, I don't think that's a good idea. There's already one tractor out here, and I forgot the name of the big tractor name back then. There's already one big name out here that makes tractor. What makes you think it can be two? And so Ferruccio was like, Dad, They haven't had a Lamborghini tractor, right? Mine is going to be faster, more powerful, and smaller than those big wonky tractors that's already out there. And so he got the money and he made the tractor. And then he took it to the bank and asked the bank, hey, if I can make a tractor that's faster, smaller, but more powerful, would you invest 1,000? Would you invest in it to make 1,000 more? And the bank was like, you must already got the prototype. He was like, hell yeah. And so he made 1,000 tractors, and next thing you know, the Lamborghini, right, was a big time tractor maker, right? He made tractors for a living. And he and at this time, Ferrari, right? That's a big last name, right? Ferrari was, excuse me, taking over the sports car scene. I mean, if you wanted to be somebody, you'll buy a Ferrari. And Ferruccio Lamborghini said when he finally got a chance to catch up with Ferrari, it was like, I own a Ferrari for every day of the week, right? The opulence, right? The confidence in the will to walk up to a guy who at that time literally owned the world and tell him, not only do I own a Ferrari for every day of the week, it sucks. And what sucked about the Ferrari, according to Ferruccio Lamborghini, was the clutch. And he said that the clutch on his tractor could make the Ferrari 10 times better. But of course, the Ferrari man wasn't listening. He wasn't hearing him. And he told Lamborghini man to lean in and say, you know what they say about Lamborghinis? The man was like, no, what they say? They don't listen. And they're always where they shouldn't be. And so at that time, that's when Ferruccio was like, I can make a better, a more beautiful sports car, a faster sports car, and one with a better clutch, because Ferrari turned down the partnership of Ferrari and Lamborghini, right? And so sometimes when you think about life, right, you wonder, why didn't this partnership work? Why didn't this deal come through? Because you were meant to be your own man, your own woman, and to create your own lane. But hindsight is not always 2020, right? And so had Ferrari partnered with Lamborghini, we wouldn't have got Lamborghini, right? We wouldn't have got those butterfly doors and the slick body and that sound, right? I mean, we got to, while I'm talking about Lamborghini, we have to be reminded of just the beautiful sound and of what Lamborghini makes. So while I'm here, we have to start a Lamborghini, right? Because we gotta hear it. Okay, do you hear that? Okay, that says money, right? That says I got it. I'm the baddest one on the street. And just listening to Lamborghini, just whew, it gives me chills. And so back to the story, Ferruccio says, we're gonna get ready for Geneva. And his group was like, yeah, we got 18 months. He's like, no, we're gonna make the most beautiful car in 6 months, right? So vision, dedication, obsession, because in 6 months they did deliver the most beautiful car. And despite the obstacles that was in the way, do you know that when there is an obsession about things, obstacles just fall to the side, right? Because when they were building the Lamborghini, the pipes in the car, right, was too big for the sleek hood to be placed on the car. So Ferruccio was like, make them sideways, make the pipes sideways. And they was like, bro, We don't got time to make a whole new engine. And we thought about sideways, but we don't see how it's gonna work. And Ferruccio was like, it's gonna work, figure it out, right? Because when you bring people that's on your team that's smarter than you, but they have your vision, your tribe will come through. And there's so many of us out here that don't have a tribe, that don't support our vision and don't make our vision work. And that's why we can't see things through, right? We don't see things through, right? Because we don't have those people in our corner that when we get gung ho about things, we make it shake, right? And so in 6 months, they delivered the most beautiful car. And what really sticks out to me was that Ferrari was there showing off his car. But okay, when Lamborghini revealed his car, all eyes was on him. And he said to the reporter about the car, you buy a Ferrari when you want to be somebody. You buy a Lamborghini when you are somebody, right? So when you think about things that you're buying now, when you're clothing on your body, when you're watching TV, whatever it is that you're doing, are you doing it because you want to be somebody, or are you doing it because you are somebody, right? So I want y'all to take some thought into that. Get some thought into that. What are you doing? What are you wearing? What are you seeing? What are you thinking? Are the things that you're thinking, is it creating you into somebody, or is it making you want to be somebody, right? There's a difference there, right? Because the things that you do today will make you who you are tomorrow. I love an old African proverb that comes to me, is that where you stand when you're young is where you will sit when you're old. So where are you standing right now, right? Are you on top, like Tyra said? Or are you starting from the bottom, like Drake said? Wherever you are, right? Take a look at where you are, right? Your ideas, right? Things that you're thinking about, and make sure that they are making you think and grow rich, right? These are important thoughts. And it doesn't matter if you have to pivot, because great entrepreneurs know when to pivot, right? So many companies started off as one thing and they became the other, right? You heard the story of Lamborghini. They made tractors, and then they made the world's most beautiful car. Interesting thing about BMW, Bavarian Motor Works, they started off as German. They made German fighter jets, and then at the end of World War One, when Germany lost, the Versailles Treaty was signed, and that essentially prevented production of aircrafts in central Germany. So, I mean, Central Europe, and that literally bankrupts BMW. So BMW gets the ideas, well, we can make small engines like motorcycles and then automobiles, right? And we know that BMW is a sign of opulence, right? So when you think about making things, make things that when need be, you can pivot, right? Those transferable skills, right? So that was transferable to, like, from the tractor to the world's most beautiful car, the Lamborghini, or from a fighter jet to some of the most opulent cars on the road, BMW. And to think about what really trips me out when I was looking at companies that learned how to pivot, right? I came across Nintendo, right? Nintendo came out in 1889, and it didn't come out as a game console. It came out as a playing card company in Japan. And because I had to write down just how many times Nintendo had to reinvent itself. And not only was it a playing card company, it became a vacuum cleaner. It made instant rice. It was a taxi company. And then it even was a short stay hotel chain called Love Hotel. And it wasn't until 1966 that it started producing games and consoles. And then in 1989, literally 100 years after it was a playing card company, that we got Mario and Donkey Kong and all the beloved games that we love now, right? So listen, If the company, if the name that you're starting off with now is not making things shake, don't worry. Stick with it, right? Stick with it, because 4 years will all boil down to 9 seconds, right? And Myron Golden said, which really sticks out to me, was that prepare for your opportunity, because it's going to come whether you're ready or not. And I'm paraphrasing, but whether you're ready or not, opportunity will present itself. And opportunity is sneaky because it's never going to be blatant, right? Opportunity is never going to be right there in your face. It's going to come during times of turmoil or times of grief or times of mishap. That's when opportunity presents itself, like right now in this economy, right? Think about the next 10 years, where we're going, and slide yourself in there, because you are needed, right? Your expertise are needed, right? As my professor used to say, be a be an eagle among the chickens. But as I would say, be a chicken that knows its place, right? Because the world needs chicken. Chicken make the world go round, right? So if you are a chicken, right, understand that you are a chicken and make the best at being the chicken. Get the best chicken feed, lay the best eggs, right? And be the best chicken breast wing out here for these people, okay? Be crispy, be flaky, be juicy, be grilled, be all of those things, right? Because look, whether you stay on the ground or you fly over mountains, wherever you are, make sure that your vision is clear, right? Make sure your vision is clear from the ground or clear from the top. That's what all I have to say today, because these are the things that I've thought about. Oh, I got so much stuff to work on myself, and I want you all to work on you while I work on me. I really want to be authentic and transparent in this process, because as I said, if I could be honest with myself, I have not been the best at being me, right? And the first step in being better is knowing that you're not the best at being yourself, right? Because nobody can be you but you. And you know where you fall short, and you know when you've been lying to yourself, right? So let's stop lying to ourselves. Let's kick off our shoes, relax our feet, um, engage our mind and our ears, because we know that faith comes by hearing and hearing alone. So if you don't believe that you're the best, I advise you to record yourself saying, I'm the best. Get in the mirror and say, I'm the best. Call up your best people and get them to tell you that you're the best. But whatever you do out here, don't give up. Peace and love, y'all. It's another episode of Amy the Seventh. I really appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you check me out on all my platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Google, SoundCloud. Baby, and I may be coming to Amazon Music real soon. So I'm working on things out here, but I need to kick it in gear. So many of us think that we got life until we don't, till we don't got life. We don't got life, baby. Every day we one step closer to the grave, right? And when you slip in that grave, make sure you slip in that grave knowing that you died being the damn best, right? So die being the best, die looking your best, and die knowing that you did the best that you could, right? Because we're going to be, we're going to do, and we're going to have. Peace and love, y'all. Make sure you tune in every Monday at 7 p.m. for another episode of Amy the Seven. 3, 2, 1.